So there's like this TV show, right? And like most TV shows, they have their basic plot and their main characters, and you know, a lot of shows nowadays they're fighting a war, and the protagonists are fighting these villains that ultimately they vastly outnumber them, and there's like no way for them to win and survive. I mean, and you could take this from like pretty much any mainstream show like The Walking Dead. And like I give you example with The Walking Dead, all the characters that are alive are infected with the virus or the disease that once they die they're going to turn into a zombie anyway, and they're all infected with it, right? And all pretty much the mainstream shows are carrying this theme of infection. But like this one show right here is called Battlestar Galactica. They're fighting against an army of robots that has they couldn't beat them because the robots were making computers and they were hacking into everything, and it's just like got this real big AI theme about it. But ultimately, in the end, this show, what makes it different is the fact that the robots are so sophisticated, they're so advanced that they start making humans, right? And what they do is they'll make a specific type of human, and then they'll send that human into the civilization, and that human will kill the one that's real and take that one's place. And um, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you the overall story of the show. It's long, it's lengthy, it's drawn out. I mean, they cover a wide range of like things that people deal with, like racism and sexism, feminism, all that shit. They cover it all. And rape, you name it, it's all in the show. But ultimately, in the end, the crazy part about the show is when you get to the very end, you find out that everybody has already been replaced. So basically, everything that you've been watching in the show is robots have been doing it to robots. Robots have been raping robots. Robots have been stealing from robots. Robots have been killing robots. And they all look like humans. And that's the theme of this whole show, is to just confuse the living shit out of you because you're already a robot in the show. And they say that the main character of the show is the person that's watching. So the people who watch this show are the robots themselves as well. And I think that's like the premise of like what they're trying to do ultimately. Everybody's a robot. And not only that, but everybody is committing the atrocities to everybody, because even if you're sitting and just watching somebody go through being raped or somebody being like tormented or tortured, if you're just sitting by and watching that, you're a part of it. And they got this one part in the show where they have like these breeding farms for literally no reason at all. No reason at all. They know full well that robots can't have babies, but they still take all the females in the show that are already robots that they don't even realize till the very end, and they act like they're breeding them. Like, this show is like so psychologically messed up, and they show you all this stuff and they don't reveal it to the very end that what you're watching is yourself attack yourself, like a autoimmune response. It's the ultimate in like psychological warfare, really. And I think that's why this show was so popular back in like 04, 05, 06. Whenever it was coming out, it was like really, really popular. And it was for that reason, and it wasn't even that long. It was only like 4 seasons. But it's because of what all they did in this show. And the fact that it was basically everybody was already the monster. You are the monster already. Kind of like how in the Book of Remembrance it says that, the Gentiles, they create their own God, the JC character, and they worship that. They pray to that, and that's a theme in the show. I mean, you got people who worship this one like kind of ball type thing, and you got other people who worship the JC character, and it has like just all these premises that are in everyday life. But the fact is, in the show, if you're watching the show, you're a part of the show. And that's the crazy part. So only reason why I'm talking about this show is because like this is kind of how they got daily life set up. In our lives, we see like all this messed up shit, and we can choose whether or not to get in and fight, or to ignore it. And regardless of whatever you choose, because you're here on this earth, you're a part of it.